Hey everybody, Mr. Amadon here. Today we're going to be talking about states of matter, or the three different phases of matter that we may see. Okay, solid, liquid, and gas. Those are our three states of matter. All matter is made up of particles called atoms and molecules. Particles attract each other. Okay, particles naturally want to join with other particles. So the greater their attraction, the closer the particles will get. And in a minute, I'll show you what that means. Okay? Particles are constantly in motion, meaning that they're always bumping into each other in some shape, way, or form. Temperature of a substance is related to the speed at which particles move. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But down here, I just got little examples of what this looks like. Many of you, this may be review, and that's totally okay. So these are the three phases of matter. We have a solid, a liquid, and a gas. Okay? A solid, a liquid, and a gas. So let's talk about solids. The particles of a substance in its solid state vibrate in place. So just picture a little ball, right? You're holding the ball in your hand, right? And if you just shake it just a little bit, well, that's what the particles in a solid look like. The vibration is also very low, and the attraction between these particles is really high. Final result, particles lock together to create a solid substance, meaning it keeps its shape and volume. So let's take a look what this may look like. If you notice the little green balls, right, they're just kind of vibrate in place, right? They're attracted to other particles, right, within this substance. They're not flying all around. They're just kind of bumping around in place, and they're attracted to the particles next to each other. All right, let's talk about liquids. The particles of a liquid, they move faster than solids, right? They're not just sitting there vibrating in place and bumping into each other. These particles of a liquid can overcome some of that attraction of other particles, unlike solids. These particles in a liquid flow over and around each other. So remember, the solid particles were kind of just hovering there next to each other. Well, obviously, we should know that with liquids, they are keyword flowing, or they flow over and around other particles. So example, when water spills on the floor, the molecules stick together just enough to make a puddle, but not enough to keep the shape of the water it had in a glass. So this is what this looks like. Okay, notice very different than a solid particle, right? They're flowing over and around each other. It's a fluid motion. Okay, these are particles of a liquid. Let's talk about gas. Particles of a substance, these move fastest when the substance is in its gaseous state. Okay, so these particles are going to be moving much faster than, say, a solid or a liquid. Particles move very fast, resulting in no attraction between the particles. We shouldn't say there's no attraction, there's some attraction. Not as much as a solid or a liquid, but there is some, very minimal, but there is some attraction. And this is the reason why a gas will spread out in all directions, right? Let's see what this looks like. Okay, they're flowing around, bouncing. Notice that after they bounce off each other, they go in opposite directions, right? So there is a little bit of attraction, but not much. They're essentially repelling each other. And so gases are this free-flowing set of particles. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for states of matter. To be continued.